the average burnout cycle for an up and YouTube star, let's call it this way, for lack of a better word, somebody who goes through the fame cycle, was 6 years in average. Is this something you've also observed over the last 15 years, that this beast is very demanding, not just on how to manage the fame and the career, but also the rhythm of it, the pace of it, the intensity?
100%. I mean, I think, even for me personally, I mean, I'm not a professional content creator, and I try and create content and I get burnt out, and I don't have the weight of sort of my livelihood, on my shoulders. It's really hard. There's a demand, and there's sort of this, there's a number of factors. There's sort of the fact that it doesn't stop. You put something out and you immediately have to start working on the next thing. So that creates a feeling that in and of itself can be exhausting. And then when you layer on top of it the fact that you're trying to take into account what you want to create and what the audience is reacting to, which feeds into the algorithm, why did this thing, which I was really passionate about, do so well, and why did this not, and why is this guy doing so well and why am I not? It's a very confusing sort of headspace to navigate, and you can't help but feel like these external inputs have an impact on how you feel. And it's great to say, just do what you're passionate about, but when your livelihood depends upon it, you need to take into account what your audience is passionate about and what advertisers want. And you're constantly sort of doing like this mental calculus that is really taxing and exhausting beyond just the sheer amount of work that you need to do. It's really a right and left brain task, and it doesn't stop. And like I said, for me personally, the little bit that I've experienced is sort of like a creator, just sort of doing it because I think it's important for my career, but it is not my career. It's been very, very difficult. So I can very much empathize with those who feel burnt out.
The algorithm changed over the last 3 years, and it changes what creators create in consequence. 3 years ago, the algorithm was favoring the daily vlogging. It was all about rhythm. Yeah, if you were coming out every day, clearly the algorithm, you were going on their good side. Which, when he said that, I realized, yeah, that's exactly when the burnout cycle was at its peak, actually. Daily stuff, yeah, of course, that's going to make you burn out. And now he said it favors much more the sensational big videos a la Mr. Beast or Markiplier, where the budget, the editing, everything is top notch, top quality stuff, which leads to another form of consequences, which is the highest stakes budgets. Now we are at a poker table where the barriers of entry are starting to rise. And you come from a time in YouTube where it was everybody with a camera can give it a shot. And I love that democratization part of things, that Justin Bieber came from it, that, those moments late at night. But the algorithm is more powerful, I reckon, than I realized a few years ago.
I do tend to agree. I think, YouTube is sort of dealing with an ever-changing kind of landscape, and they're powered by media dollars, and they've had a lot of brand safety issues. I can imagine that on top of that, they're dealing with this landscape where more and more people have like connected TVs. They're making that push. So having higher quality, higher production content is going to play much better for that medium. There's a lot of factors that they're trying to take into account. And at the same time, I think, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if it's cultural or the algorithm or what, but the daily vlogger has sort of that sort of died out. I mean, I can imagine them maybe making a conscious decision of being like, let's not prioritize, let's not weight the daily or the frequency as much, because these kids are just getting burnt out. I mean, I remember dealing with like vloggers a lot, you know, for a long time. They were sort of like, I mean, they were huge, and their audiences were so rabid. And I think because of that, like, intimacy, you were being brought into their lives, but at the same time, I remember seeing them and they were like exhausted all the time. Like, you know, we would do brand events and like, you know, they'd come out and be doing things, and then at like midnight, you know, when everybody else is going to bed, they're going into the room and they've got to edit, and they edit until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then come out and like, you know, get up the same time as everyone else. Like, they had to find the time to make that happen. And it's a brutal cycle. Even if you have a team, it can be rough.